It is very cold, and to make matters a little bit more chaotic, we have had some plumbing problems in my household. So do me a favor and drop a hello lovely in the comments below. If I have a little bit of a lisp, I apologize. I have a brand new Invisalign tray. I thought I was done with Invisalign. I was told it was going to be a really short amount of time that I was going to have it. And alas, it has turned out to be a little bit longer than I was planning on, as we needed adjustments. But I'd rather them get it right than me have, issues with it. So do me that favor, drop that hello lovely. I hope that you are having a fantastic Monday, a great start to this week. If you got some snow, let me know what the totals are, especially if you're on that mid to east coast. I know we just got Winter Storm Ember, which is such a cool name for a winter storm. Well done for the person who named it. I know, of course, they go through all those different names. Hello, thanks for the hello. People, all different kind of like meteorologists. I want to know who's on that committee who gets to name all the winter storms and everything. So I'm just taking some mattifying primer. For those of you who have fine lines or large pores, this primer is fantastic. It is like cement filler for your face. Even though it's called mattifying, I don't want you to worry if you have dry skin or if you do live in an area that gets a little dry this time of year. It's not like a drying formula. It's fantastic. However, there is a caveat. Everything at minutewithmary.com is on hold until probably tonight or tomorrow. My website is under maintenance. So if anything piques your fancy, just shoot me a message or just wait a day or so, as we are doing some technical stuff behind the scenes. But I'm still getting ready, and I figured I would still come and share these tips with you. But the mattifying primer is filling in those pores, those fine lines. You do want to let it set. You don't want to mix your foundation onto your primer right away, just like concrete filler. And heck, oh my gosh, the amount of potholes that are here in Rhode Island right now after we just had that winter storm is out of control. So as I was saying earlier, please forgive me for my little bit of a lisp with this new Invisalign tray. I do go back and see the dentist, I think Friday, as I have to get some more. But this is all because my jaw got a little out of alignment during all of my panorama issues, whether it was my muscles moving things around or who knows what, but we're hoping, of course, that it helps with jaw pain. So it is what it is. And I'm also not wearing contacts, as I had to order some more contact lenses. So for me to read comments, I'll be putting on my handy dandy glasses. You still have snow on the ground here, and the winds are 28 miles per hour. Oh my gosh, so cold. Yeah, that's some pretty fast. It's cold here. When I dropped the kids off at school, it was a whopping 28 degrees. Let me see what it is right now. But what was funny is it's sunny. So I actually just wore like my shirt and sweater when I did some grocery shopping. But however, we are now on high wind watch and flood watch, as I guess we're about to get a massive rainstorm, and all of our storm drains are covered with snow and ice. So if you haven't seen it, Rhode Island's been making national news left and right for all the flooding that we've been having. Goodness me. But we'll be okay. We will survive. I live on a hill, so all will be fine with the world. But yeah, let me know how your weekend was. Did you do anything fun? I'm going to be podcasting in just a little bit once the plumber leaves. So you ready for this plumbing debacle of craziness? So we had our big snowstorm yesterday, and it was so fun. The kids went outside to play. I went outside and took the dog, and I did what every person does when they have a big snowstorm. You cook, you bake, you cook, you make beef stew, you do all the yummy things. So I was taking care of business and doing all of that, and then all of a sudden, Blake tells me that our kitchen drain is clogged. I'm just taking a little bit of my Skin Solution concealer. If you are 30 plus, 35 plus, 40 plus, and you have creping or fine lines or dryness under your eyes, concealer nowadays is very different for application than what it was, say, 5-10 years ago, where we would do a big triangle. Right now, you just do a little spot right there. And then sometimes you can do a little bit right here to add a little bit of lift. I honestly don't need that. I don't have discoloration over here. Most of our discoloration is right there in the center, where it touches your nose. Less is more. So I use this concealer because it's infused with skincare. It has caffeine in it. Another tip that I like to do is I take a little bit of my setting spray, and I spray that with my eyes closed. And then I take either my fingertip or I take a concealer brush, and I just kind of tap and pat. So you're not going to be smearing it all over the place. You're more just kind of patting it to help place it, but always place it where you have the the most darkness underneath your eyes. All right, because wherever you place a product first is where it is going to be the most pigmented. So as I'm cooking, as I'm doing all the things and playing with the dog and with the kids, Blake tells me that our kitchen sink is clogged. We do have a dishwasher, we do have a garbage disposal, and I don't know what ended up happening, but it got clogged. So in the midst of this crazy storm, and because it was on a Sunday, they don't really plow the roads actively during a storm. They know that most people are home. A lot of people here in New England were watching the Patriots, even though they lost, because it was Bill Belichick's supposedly last game. I mean, they just knew. They just knew everybody's hunkering down, sledding, eating stew. So rather than go out and get some tools to help kind of fix the clog, Blake tried to MacGyver it. Bless his sweetheart. Bless his sweetheart. And ended up breaking our sink. I don't know exactly what was happening, but I want to be quiet because I don't want the plumber to know what really happened. But he was taking like a plunger to it, and he pushed the whole sink, and the whole sink fell. Like in our cabinet, like whole sink fell. We don't know where the clog is. He did some stuff right and some stuff probably not right. My husband is not a plumber. He did not Google anything. He did not YouTube anything. He just willy-nilly was like, I think I can fix this, which oftentimes he can. Oftentimes he can. He's got that can-do-it attitude, which I greatly appreciate, except when my sink is like 5 inches lower than where it's supposed to be. So, he got the sink back up, but the clog is still there. And we were talking this morning. I was like, sweetheart, you have to call a real plumber. Like, you have to call a real person. And just so you know, I'm taking my powder concealer brush. So I used the concealer portion to kind of press and blend out where it was the darkest. And now I'm going to take the powder portion and just lightly kind of press it while it dries. Another thing that you can do is just use your fingers because of the warmth of your fingers. My concealer is very full coverage and it does dry pretty quickly, but you just kind of want to help it along the way without having a lot of smiling and things like that. You want to let it dry and set, which that setting spray is going to help with, without it getting all gunky inside your fine lines. So most of my fine lines are here. You want to put less product where you have fine lines, okay? Because the more product, the more it's going to crease. So that's what I've got going on for my concealer. And now that I've allowed a bit of time for the primer, I'm going to go in with my BB cream. This is a lightly tinted, hydrating SPF beauty cream. And I'm right now using the shade Fair Light. I might use a shade darker. We're going to see. Jason is a YouTube mechanic and plumber. Stop it. For real? Oh my God, that's so cool. And I think I need to pull up the the videos because that would be perfect. Yeah, that's what we needed. That's what we needed. So bless Blake's sweetheart. I'm taking a flat-tipped kabuki brush. You can use a damp blending pad. You could even use your fingers for BB cream. And it looks light, but once I blend it, it evens out. BB cream is pretty flexible when it comes to color matching. Because it's a lighter coverage, it can really kind of blend to your skin tone. But I'd rather go a little lighter and then warm it up if I need to, because 'tis the season for me to be a vampire. So yeah, so this morning he was calling me and he said, you know what? I think I'm going to go to Home Depot and I'm going to go buy some tools and I'm going to try to fix it. And I was like, I love you so much. I love you so much, but please no. Please call a plumber. And so he called a plumber and that plumber didn't answer. So he left a message and I was like, please call another plumber. So he called 3 plumbers in total, left messages for all 3, and then went to Home Depot to go buy tools. And as he was in the aisle for like the snake or auger or whatever it's called, he gets a phone call from a plumber saying I can be there in 20 minutes. And Blake calls me. He's like, Mary, do I take this as a sign? Do I take this as a sign that I am not supposed to fix the product? And I was like, yes, Blake, this is your sign. This is your sign to let it go and let a professional do his job before any more harm is done to our kitchen. So wish us some luck, as we do have the plumber here now. Wish us luck that it's not $1 trillion and that Blake didn't make it a ton worse than what it was to begin with. Oh my good Lord. Sweet, sweet Blake. Yeah, so that's that. The cool thing is that we actually have had a couple other plumbing issues that we've needed to get checked out. So while the plumber's here, we may just ask for help. Now you can see I've been extra blending. I had the product on my face, I blended it out, and now I'm just kind of going in, and this is called stippling. It's like a painting technique, but you can also think about it with makeup, because pretty much makeup is you painting on your face. And I'm just doing some light pressing. I love to do this towards the end of any kind of a cream or liquid foundation, just to really make sure that it's married into your skin. And see how it blended pretty well to my skin. So this, once again, is the BB cream. It has SPF inside. I absolutely love it. And I think I'm going to stick with kind of cream-based products today. I just really love the way that it hydrates my skin. It really kind of combats anti-aging, or works towards anti-aging. Doesn't combat anti-aging. That's what it does. It does anti-aging. And now I'm going to go in with a bronzing contour stick. This one is the darker of my two. It's called Chocolate Souffle, which makes you just want to eat chocolate. If you work with a darker contouring color, don't fear it. Just use a little less. I like the undertone shade of this a bit. So I have a lighter one called Barely Bronzed, and then there's this one, Chocolate Souffle. Barely Bronzed is really meant for my fairer folk, or people who just want to have like a slight bronze look to their face. I find that Chocolate Souffle is fine as long as you use a light hand like what I'm using right now. But it's a really nice kind of contour shade. So if you're trying to add some angles, trying to slim your face down, both of them will do that. But Chocolate Souffle for me is something that I want to kind of try out now that I'm entering my vampire era. So wish me luck. I'm hiding in here while the plumber's downstairs, and we're gonna hopefully do some podcasting about Harry Potter. We had tried to do it this weekend, and then of course our sink broke. So if you are a fan of the Potterverse and you're wondering, hey, why was there no Potterverse yet? It's because Moaning Myrtle has attacked my sink. So we will sort it out in a jiffy. hopefully the plumber doesn't say this is like a multi-day project. All right, so one of the cool things you can do if your nose is wider than you would like it to be is, rather than worry about plastic surgery, you can actually just kind of contour your nose and add fake shadows. I like how I'm doing this blind because I totally drew a crooked line. You can add fake shadows to either enhance what you already have or to kind of slim your nose down. So you can make like a little button nose. And I'll actually do some fun tip videos on how to better do this when I can see. Between not having a sink, not wearing contacts right now, and having a lisp with my new Invisalign tray, I am just all sorts of pretty right now. And I think that that's why I especially want to put on a little bit of makeup. I was talking with a girlfriend today about how when life is throwing you lemons, when things are out of your control, that is when I especially lean into doing my makeup, because it is something I can control. I can control the colors I put on my face. I can control the technique. And then I feel much better about myself every time I pass myself in a mirror. I look pulled together. I look like I have a working sink and I'm not a worrywart. So just know that if you have chaos going in your life, things that are out of your control, I promise you, taking the extra 3, 5, 10 minutes to do a little something for you, whether it's putting on a bold lip or doing a little bit of makeup or doing something nice with your hair or maybe putting on a favorite shirt. When you see your reflection, when you're driving, when you're in the bathroom, just passing by a window and you look like $1,000,000, you're going to feel so much better. So that's a fun little tip for you. Using my cream blush, this is the shade Peony Pink. It is a beautiful light flush, very nice for kind of that winter chill. I have no idea how to contour my face. Oh, I can help. I can totally help. I will be doing some contouring classes, then I'll be doing some extra little tips and tricks. And the thing with contouring, I feel like a lot of people see it and they get very overwhelmed, or they think it's like, for a different age demographic or for influencers. And it really just comes down to if you would like your face to look that way. Do you want to have your face have a bit more definition? Do you want to add a lift to your face? And it's once you get the hang of it, it's very simple and it's quick and it can completely change. It's like an optical illusion, right? So it can completely change how the face shape, or like even your double chin. Like I put a little bit here to help add a faux shadow to kind of help with the sagging skin that I have here. You can add a little bit underneath this lip here to make your lip look a little fuller. I actually have been doing some fun little lip techniques this past week, and Blake has been commenting, he's like, your lips look so much bigger. And it's just little tweaks, because our lips also lose fullness as we get older too. And I've got nothing against people who want to do injections or anything like that. I personally just have a huge fear of needles, and I like to see how much I can do with either a healthier diet or taking, my vitamins or my collagen, and then playing around with makeup. So that's where I'm at in this journey of life right now. All right, so I did my base face, I did the little bit of bronze and contour, I did that nice little light flush. As you can see, it's just really natural looking. It looks very clean. These are all great long-lasting anti-aging products. And I'm going to take a little bit of my Prime and Set Mist, and this is going to be just a layer to help hold it on more. What you can also do is just take your foundation brush, and wherever you have texture, so if you have fine lines, if you have uneven texture from like scarring or large pores, I always recommend taking either a damp blending bud or that kabuki brush and just lightly pouncing that setting spray right into the makeup, right into your skin. It's going to marry it and really make it look like your skin. It's not going to look like you're wearing makeup. It's really just going to blend it in and press it in without it sitting on those fine lines, without it getting all settled in there. So I love setting spray. I feel like anyone who has texture to their skin, utilizing this to help it not move is fantastic. It's great for humidity. If you don't want your texture to show, you'll want to use some setting powder, and that helps blur it as well, which I also am a huge fan of. All right, let's go on in and do a little bit of eyeshadow. Do I have the eyeshadow that I want? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I think we can go with this one. We'll do this one. This one is the shade Reverent. It is my trusty, handy dandy liquid eyeshadow that is pretty much my best-selling liquid eyeshadow. It's just a really nice light champagne shimmer that you can blend with your fingers. So I don't hear anyone anymore. Maybe the plumber left. Maybe that means it's fixed, or it means he had to go and get more supplies. So, all right, have you ever had a broken sink? Have you ever had a clogged sink that needed a plumber? Did you ever have a broken sink that dropped and you then had to have that fixed? Because that's the other thing, is that I helped Blake pick the sink back up, and I think he said he put it back in place. But like, plumbers don't fix that, I don't think. I think that's more like a construction person. So we could be having a little bit more chaos in my household than we bargained for. All right, so I put on that eyeshadow. I'm going to quickly take a brow pencil and lift up these brows. Sometimes even just brushing your brows in an upward motion helps add a lift to your face, helps kind of combat any droopiness that you might have from gravity or anything like that. And then what you can also do is, if you have graying eyebrows, frequently if you have silver in your hair, you most likely have some silver in your eyebrows like I do. I kind of just go in and help add some definition. I'm not trying to draw any, thick, big shapes. I'm really trying to keep it natural, but as we get older, we lose some hair in our eyebrows, and we also get some silvers there too. So kind of just accentuating what I already had, filling in any balding spots or any spots that are now silver rather than brown, and go to town. It is funny, as my hair does turn more and more silver, which you can't always tell in the indoor light, but I still have such dark brows. So it'll be interesting as I get older to see kind of what the coloring presents itself like. All right, let's finish this up because I look half done. This is the stage where it's like you got to put on some mascara, or else you don't look pulled together, Once you put on eyeshadow, if you don't put on some mascara, it just doesn't look complete. You have such great brows and hair. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I gotta tell you, a lot of my hair success is because of collagen. I started taking my high quality liquid collagen 2 years ago now, and it has been a game changer because I cut off all my hair. I had a pixie cut to grow out this silver, and a lot of times when you embrace your silver, it's not as soft, and this is like this is air dried. This is air dried hair, and normally I look like Mufasa. Like I look like I have a big crazy wiry hair. Pre my collagen, I would have like all my silver strands would be out looking like little bug antenna, and because of the weather, but also because I've been really taking care of that collagen. And that's one of the things I love about collagen is it works on so many aspects of your body and your beauty. But it helps your skin be more youthful. It helps with pore size, darkness under your eyes, fine lines. It helps with your nail growth, and it really, really also helps with your skin, your hair. Hi, Vicki. Great to see you. Thanks so much for tuning in. How you been doing? Gonna take my Quadra. This is my 4-in-1 lash product. I have an itch on my face. Want to do it with that brush rather than my finger. All right. So what do you think? Do you think the plumber's gone because he fixed the problem, or do you think the plumber's gone because he has more work to do at my house? If you had that big of a problem, so it was a clogged drain, and then bless Blake's sweet little heart, he took the drain apart, he had some other things, and then somehow dropped our sink a few inches down. Do you think the plumber is coming back, or do you think he magically fixed the problem? So I'm not going hog wild with my mascara today. I'm just doing a little light coat. I'm just trying to have, some clean looking makeup. Oh, I just heard the door. Is he back? And if so, who is it? Is it the plumber or Blake? We will find out. I want a podcast, so I wanted to have a little bit of makeup on my face before I headed on down to the studio. Some of our podcasts we have videos for, and then some of them we don't. We actually just started our new Percy Jackson Prophecy podcast, which I do with my son. And it covers the Percy Jackson series on Disney Plus. And we have chosen to not have a video element of that one. I don't want my 10-year-old subjected to having to worry about how he looks on camera. I don't want mean trolls on the internet to say anything, about how he looks. So Blake and I together made that choice to make that podcast just an audio file. So even if people find it on YouTube, it is just going to be an audio version of the podcast. And I'm really happy with that choice. My son has not asked for it to be a video component. He's just happy to be podcasting. He's grown up with his parents as podcasters all this time. It was the plumber. I hear a machine downstairs. So the plumber did come back. I wanted to do a little bit of something with my lips, but my favorite lip liner is in the car. So we're going to do a different color right now, but I just wanted to quickly share with you my technique for having fuller looking lips before I head to the studio. So my lips are not symmetrical. Most people's aren't. Most people do not have symmetrical lips. I actually have so your lips, sometimes your lips have color, sometimes they don't, sometimes they have color in some spots and not always in others, but you could think of your lips like a mountaintop. And a lot of us have color until almost the peak of a mountaintop. So what you can do if you want your lips to look fuller is to really find that tip of your lip and really draw along the peak's edge of it. Some of mine have lost color, like right here in this kind of V, that Cupid's bow. It's not all naturally colorful. So what I like to do is I first find my Cupid's bow. Can you hear that sound? Can you hear the plumber? And I kind of just make an X on that Cupid's bow to see where my natural Cupid's bow is. And already you can see that this side is higher than this side. And that's just my natural lack of symmetry in my face. And that's okay, right? We're human. We're not supposed to look perfect all the time. But if you want your lips to look a little bit more symmetrical, this is where lip liner can come into play. So what I'll do is I will draw a bit more on that ridge, if not a little bit over the peak. Just right there. And then it's a bit more in style right now to have a bit more rounded lips. There's been different fads during all the different decades about having either a really sharp Cupid's bow or having a bit rounded of a Cupid's bow. I'm finding if you're using a lip liner and you want to have your lips look a little fuller, focusing on this Cupid's bow area, this inner kind of third of your lips, and kind of rounding things out a little bit is going to help with that illusion. So I round it out here, kind of going right over that peak. And then I'm going to stop there. And then even down here where I made that X, I'm going to round that out just a smidge. Can't wait to listen to it. Yay, you're going to have to let me know your thoughts. Yeah, I'm really, really excited. Oh, you can't wait to listen to the Potterverse. That's what you're saying. Or are you saying Percy Jackson? So I'm going to round this one. But this is already the fuller side of my lip. So rather than it being like a sharp uppercase M, I'm making it now more of like a loopy M. All right, then I'm going to go in this same area. That right there is the natural bottom of the colorful part of my lip. The bottom lip still, think of it like a mountain. There right there is more the ridge. And if I want it to look a little fuller, I'm going to go a little bit on the other side of the ridge, on the area that is less full. Kind of like this whole portion of my lip is just a less full. And you don't do overlining all of your lips, just this inner third. Then you go from the edges of your lips and you bring it and you kind of connect it. And if this takes a little practice, don't worry. I love practicing makeup when I have nowhere to go to. So say you have like weddings going on this spring or summer, or you really want to learn how to contour, or you want to learn how to overline your lips. Find an afternoon or a Saturday morning and you don't really have anywhere to go. Put on some fun music or a favorite audiobook and practice. And that way, if it doesn't turn out the way that you want, no one knows, right? No one knows. And you just get to practice a little bit more. The more you practice, the better you're going to get at it, and the faster it's going to be. So, for example, when I was on television, so you can see how this is already still like uneven, like this side's a little bit fuller, and this is a little sadder. When I was on television every day, I had to do my makeup as if I was going to a wedding every day. Like that's how much you got to wear, like very special makeup when you're on TV, and you need to look perfect. And at first it took me so long to get ready. But then once I got into a good habit and I had my routine down, you know, your muscle memory picks up and you're able to really chop that time down to be much more efficient, much quicker. All right, so another fun thing you can do is you can leave the center of your lips free and clear from your lip liner and then put on your lip gloss or your lipstick. That's going to help them look a little bit fuller as well. Some people will also put a little concealer or like a lighter shade there. Let me put this over here. And I'm going to take some lip gloss for this. This is the shade Legendary. Kind of goes with the same coloring. And then the other tip, in addition to lining your lips, is to put on something with a little bit of a gloss. So when you have that gloss and you have that shine to your lips, it automatically is going to make it look fuller because it's going to catch all that light. Problem with gloss is that it comes off when you're drinking coffee, if you're having a straw. So if you use lip liner or you use something that really stays on really long, I would even fill in all my lips and kind of use that as my base with a gloss on top. But I just wanted to share with you so you could see how it's a little bit lighter right there in the center. So this is kind of the technique I've been doing. The other thing is that even after you apply your lipstick or your lip gloss, you look at your lips, and if they're not exactly the way you want, you just go back and you kind of fine tune the edges with your lip liner. And as the day goes on, it's still going to have and be nice and outlined because lip liner, at least at minutewithmary.com, it is a long-lasting product. So if I just keep reapplying the lip gloss as that comes off, my lips will still have that product. I have listened to the Potterverse in the beginning, but I'm meaning the Percy Jackson. Yay! Well, I can't wait to hear what you think about Percy Jackson. Thank you so much. on that note, I'm going to go check in with Blake. I feel done and confident. I wanted a bold lip because, once again, it's a day that I can't control what's going on with all the plumbing in my house. And on days that I can't control what's going on, I can control having a fun lip color. I love having a bold lip when I wear my glasses. I don't really worry too much about my eyeshadows and everything like that, but I feel like this just is a nice pop of color, makes me feel polished and pulled together. And there you go. That is the final look. What do you think? I promise you, if I was doing this without talking the entire time, it would have been super duper quick. I added color into my face, added a little bit of dimension. I feel confident to go be on camera, and I hope that you have learned something on this Minute with Mary. I hope you have a great day. Don't forget, minutewithmary.com is down for today. Today, I think, is going to be the last day of my site refresh, and then everything should be back rip, raring to go as of tomorrow. If you have any questions whatsoever, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I appreciate your hanging on out, and I will talk with you soon. Take care. Bye.